Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Journey to Wholeness Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. I am KJ Davis, the founder and owner of the Journey to Wholeness Center and this afternoon's host. I would like to thank you all for tuning in to this afternoon show. And before we really get started, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Conscious Community Magazine. Conscious Community is a monthly magazine that unifies and awakens the masses to their full potential through uplifting, timely, and inspiring communications. It is a free publication distributed in Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana since 1979. If you want to be a part of Conscious Community Magazine, you can call them at 847-966-1110 or visit them on their website at consciouscommunitymagazine.com. We are also, the Journey to Wholeness Center, we are also a distributor of the Conscious Community Magazine. So if you want to get a free copy of the magazine and check out some of the articles, please stop by the Journey to Wholeness Center at 9501 New England Avenue in Oakland, Illinois. So with that said, I would like to welcome a very special surprise guest, Wanda B.
Hey.
So I am so happy to have Wanda B., my very best friend and my intellectual radio sister from He Said, She Said, joining us this afternoon as we talk about empowering yourself to meditate.
Ooh.
So say hello to the audience, Miss Wanda B.
Hello, audience. I am ready with my notes. Hopefully you'll take some notes because I always learn something. This is my church here at Journey to Wholeness. And so I am ready. I am going to learn how to meditate today.
And shameless shout out, when is your show?
My show is Sundays at 2 o'clock on IntellectualRadio.com. And would love to see you tune in. We talk about relationships. It's a relationship forum, how men think, how women think. So, and then Journey to Wholeness is also a sponsor of the show too. So we love it there. And Kimberly has also been on our show. So we like to share each other's space, our time, learn from each other. So I am ready today to learn something new.
All right. So today we're going to talk about the power of meditation. And before we get into it, with today being just almost a very sentimental day, I have spent so much time on Facebook, more than normal, so much time on Facebook looking at all the pictures of President Obama and his family and all of the videos, and just finding myself a bit overcome with emotion.
I know.
I mean, it was, it just really makes you pause and appreciate the 8 years that family has sacrificed for many of us. So whether you believe in everything that he didn't do or did, for them to just represent us and represent us so well is so very heartwarming, at least for me.
It is for me as well. My son, I have a 10-year-old son, so this is kind of the only president he knows.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that thought when he was talking about it last night, the pride that our children have in growing up with this. This is something we didn't have growing up. And so I like that this is his foundation of what he's seen. What my son has seen is someone exemplifying a role that he can aspire to be one day.
And I love it. And if he didn't do anything but that, because you got so many people who just want to criticize his whole presidency, and he didn't do anything for the Black community, and on and on and on and on. But at the end of the day, when you look at the sacrifice that he made, when you look at him being just a stand-up person for his family, and taking the opportunity to serve in the capacity that he served, it's truly amazing to me. And I always, and you and I were talking about this a while ago, I always look at people, and this is when we went to the Sinfonetta, I always look at people who are truly living and breathing and working and operating in their personal power. And it blows me away when I see people truly living out their passion, and you can just feel their energy and just it makes you so inspired. And he's a person who, I mean, this was bigger than him, and to be in that place, to be able to serve as the president, to take on the criticism, to take on the judgments, to do the work that was sometimes unpopular. I always think about him and just his ability, and this leads me into really empowering yourself. I know that he had to have moments, or probably daily, where he was still, where he had to go into meditation, where he had to go within to really seek out his divine purpose and for spiritual upliftment, for spiritual insight. And that's what we're going to talk about today. It's just meditation is a true way to really, really empower yourself and be still, because it's in that stillness that we are able to find the peace when everything around us is so tumultuous. It is in that stillness where we're able to find power and strength that we didn't even know we had. So that's another thing. When we look at people truly living in their purpose and living in their passion, they're powerful. Their energy is powerful. So in talking about meditation, I just really feel that we are at a point, and we've always been, but it's even more so pronounced now, where we cannot afford to be able or to begin to really seek out our personal power. Because so very often, especially in this day and age, it's just too much going on. It's too much going on all around us, where we're so hard pressed to find that stillness. We have so much negativity. We have negativity at work. We got negativity on the television. We got negativity with our incoming president, So you have to kind of shield yourself and be in a position to be still and to go within and to find your peace, find your solitude, find your strength. And so that is what really prompted me to say, hey, you know what, let's talk about meditation, because there are so many misconceptions about meditation. So what we're going to talk about is, what is meditation? Because some people don't know really, because it's defined in so many different ways. So we're going to talk about what is meditation, and then we're going to talk about some of the myths around meditation. There are so many myths around meditation that people don't do it because they have all of these preconceived thoughts and ideas about it. So we're going to talk about and go into what some of those myths are. And then I'm going to share with you guys, just very basically, some of the forms of meditation. There are lots and lots of forms of meditation, but we're going to keep it really, really simple for this audience, because after this show, I want everybody to meditate for at least 5 minutes. And we're going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to show you a really easy 4-step process to meditate. Okay.
We're ready.
And then we're going to talk about how to put it in your daily life.
Okay.
Cool?
Cool.
All right. So what is meditation? So Wanda, what do you think meditation is? What is it to you?
Ooh, meditation is... Now, I'm not going to have the journey to wholeness answer now. This is going to be the Wanda B on a Friday afternoon. Haven't thought about this too much answer. I feel meditation is finding that stillness, that moment of quiet, where I kind of go within, and it is my moment of being still, where I don't let any outside. I try to just take this one moment, and it sometimes can just be a moment, but if I take that moment to be still and get grounded, to find that space that just pulls me into myself, where I'm not sure I know exactly how to explain
But
it.
that is perfect, because that's exactly what meditation is. Meditation is a technique simply for resting the mind. That's it. For finding exactly what you said, for finding that stillness. So a lot of people think that in meditation, it's all about, controlling your thoughts and stopping your thoughts. And it's not that at all. It's really being able to go within and pay attention to the space in between the thoughts, because that's where the stillness lies. Okay. So, and that's the very basic essence of meditation. And as a result, it is where you go to find peace, happiness, and bliss. And the one fallacy is that, people think that it has to be tied to a religious experience or a religious practice, and it doesn't.
Does it have to be? I often, someone told me to find that space in your house, or like you have to go to a certain location and make that your meditation space. And
You know what? That helps, and we'll talk about that. That helps when you want to incorporate meditation as a ritual,
okay,
as a daily practice, to have that space and that quiet time. But meditation can be done anywhere. I've even gotten into the habit of getting in my car and just turning off the radio and just finding that stillness and peace and just driving. So you can go into the bathroom on your lunch break and sit on the toilet and just be still. I know it's not a great visual, but sometimes work will take you there where you
right.
like, what? I need to get away. Or instead of thinking about it as I need to get away, think about it as I need to go within. Because in that going within, not only do you find peace, but you find answers, you find comfort. A lot of times we're stuck with decisions and decisioning, and we don't know to go right, we don't know to go left, we don't know to keep being this person's friend or not. Everything is just all muddled together. And just in that stillness, those moments of stillness, those answers come to you just like that. Especially like a lot of times when people sleep, because that's probably the only time in most of our lives where we're not constantly thinking, although some people are, which is
Yeah,
why
I
you
would
can't
think.
sleep. But that is a time of stillness where you wake up in the morning and then you just automatically know the answers to the issues before you went to bed, because you gave your mind the opportunity really to rest and do what it needs to do for you to be able to go within. So that's pretty much the gist of meditation. Okay. As you can see, I didn't say anything about religion. I didn't say anything about that. It's just really stillness. And I'm transitioning now to talk about the myths, because one of the major myths about meditation is that it's difficult. That is difficult. A lot of people who are unfamiliar with the techniques to meditate, or they think it's this big pomp and
Or
circumstance.
you feel you need to know how. I used to feel like I don't know how, as
Right.
if there was something that had to be done to get to that place to meditate.
Or you hear, well, unless you can sit still for 30 minutes, you're not really meditating, you know. Or you'll hear, if you don't cut off your brain, then you're not meditating. It's not causing any benefit if you are just still thinking about, and the mind is a computer. It's going to keep going. There is nothing that you can do to completely shut down the mind. The more you meditate, though, the better you will become at quieting the mind, giving those thoughts that come in, give it the energy that it wants to have. It wants to have a voice. So sometimes you're in meditation and you're hungry. So now you're thinking about, what am I going to eat? And then you're like, why am I just sitting here? I got all of this stuff to do. So you got all these thoughts that are surrounding you. And like I said, people think meditation is difficult because you feel like, I got to stop all these thoughts, or I'm not meditating. I'm just wasting my time. I'm just going to get up. I'm just going to quit because I can't stop thinking. And it's not about that. It really is allowing those thoughts to flow, giving it the energy and the space that it needs. And the minute that you do that, you'll find that that thought passes. Now, another one may come up, but as they come up, just allow them to pass. And then before you know it, you're in a place of stillness. There's nothing left. So what a technique, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, is just, sometimes I'll have people who, if I do a guided meditation, I'll say, just visualize those thoughts as clouds. You're looking up at the sky, visualize yourself looking up at the sky, and then when a cloud comes, that's one of the thoughts, and just watch it pass. And then another cloud will come, but before you know it, the sky is clear, and you're in that place, and you don't even realize or recognize that you're in that place. And even if it only happens for a minute, you are there, and you will reap the benefits of being there.
I was very fortunate to have a yoga instructor at Journey to Wholeness Center who I told her that I felt yoga was difficult because I felt I also had to meditate and not think about anything. And she told me exactly what you're saying is to, who said that? The
Right.
point is to let it transition, let the thoughts. And so I used to fight it, which made me think meditation was difficult because I was always fighting my thoughts, thinking
Right.
I was trying to stop you from coming, stop you from coming.
Right.
But after a while doing exactly what she said and what you're saying, to just let them flow, now I can get to that state very quickly because of not fighting it. I used to fight them to think, okay, now you're thinking about the grocery list again. Stop. No, not the grocery list. Okay, don't think about anything. And I would actually beat myself up about not thinking about anything. Like, you're supposed to not be thinking about it. But now it does get better. It gets easier the more you practice it.
Absolutely. Which was number 2, that in terms of the myth, in terms of you have to quiet your mind to be successful. That is a myth. Just allow the thoughts to flow and give them the energy and the attention that it needs. A lot of people also feel that it takes years of practice to reap the benefits, that you have to be this meditation guru to be able to get insight and clarity and peace through meditation, which is also a myth. The moment that you are able to tap into that inner space, everything melts away. You will find tension melting away. You will find stress melting away. You will find yourself, and it's even in a slight moment, a tremendous amount of peace and the ability to really hear yourself. So I tell a lot of spiritual people or religious people who are really just super grounded in prayer, and prayer is awesome. Prayer is our ability to connect and talk to God. But I always say that meditation is our ability to listen and to really hear the voice of God, the voice of the divine, the voice of your angels, the voice of your inner you. So any opportunity that you give yourself to do that is an amazing opportunity, and not even talking about the breath, and we're going to get into the breathing aspects of meditation, so that it does not take years of practice to reap benefits from meditation. Okay, the next one is number 4. There is also a myth that meditation is an escapism. So it is a way to tune out the outside world. But really, if you change the perception of meditation and say, you know what, I'm not really trying to tune out, I'm not giving any energy to the outside world. What I'm trying to do is tune in. So think about meditation as a tuning in. And in tuning in, everything else does kind of fall by the wayside and kind of drift apart. So start thinking about it as a way, like I said, to hear, to tune in. Okay. Number 5, and this is a big one. Even when I started meditating, and I still challenge myself with this. We all say, I don't have enough time to meditate. I don't have enough time. And I will tell you, you can't afford not to meditate, at least for 5-10 minutes every day. We have to make it a priority. We make everything else in our lives a priority, including chaos and dysfunction and and Facebook. I get mad at myself because some mornings I wake up in the morning and I'm waiting on my kids to get ready for school. And instead of taking like that 10 minutes to meditate, I'll scroll real quick on Facebook.
Right.
Okay. So anything that is of importance to you, you have to make a priority. So it is a huge fallacy that you don't have enough time to meditate. If you sit in stillness for 5 minutes, that is meditation.
For me, what I've found is, because I am one of those don't have time to meditate type people. So what I found is I had to take away what I found as barriers to me. Finding that going to this one spot in this sanctuary spot. My spot is in my car, and it's my car, and it's after I drop my children off to school, and it's also finding a ritual to it, or finding a pattern to it.
Ritual.
And so if I know after I drop them off, I'm about to take my 10 minutes, and it could be at the school. My son gets out the car, he shuts the door. I take my deep breath and say, okay, I'm going to take 10 minutes. And it's maybe the strangest pace. And someone today was honking like, move. I was like, wait a minute. But it's where before my day starts, I've always found it somewhat difficult to fit it in. And I found that I was using that as an excuse. So I said, you know what? You have that 10 minutes. You're going to take this 10 minutes right here, right now, and do it.
And that's what everybody, if your mornings are so incredibly hectic, find some time in the afternoon, or even once you come home and you got that favorite chair or wherever, just go have a seat and just sit in stillness for 5 or 10 minutes. And what you'll find is while so many people are so resistant to investing the time, if you do take the time and make it a daily ritual or a daily practice to meditate, it will set the pace and the stage for the rest of your day. So you won't find yourself constantly, sometimes when we don't go within and we don't and have stillness and peace as we start our day, we just find our day just completely controls us. Completely, all the way up until it's time to go to bed, and we're exhausted, tired, pass out. That's the end of the day. And then we get up and we do it all over again. But if you can incorporate a meditative practice into your day, I will guarantee you that you will be able to flow more naturally with the natural rhythms of the day. You will have more energy. You will have more peace. Therefore, you will be more productive.
I totally agree with that. When I realized that my weeks I'm starting to get stressed out and things are bothering me and people are bothering me and everything, I realized I haven't been meditating. And I realized what's wrong is that I've taken those moments that I allow my brain to relax, to put some space in between the thoughts. And when I'm just buried with thoughts all day long and let the stresses compound on the stresses without taking time to dump them out and start over and refresh and rejuvenate, then my life gets chaotic. And so I think I was talking to you after we went to the Symphonetta, and I thought to myself, what's changed? And I said, you know what? You're not taking that time for yourself. And as soon as the next day I said, okay, pull over in your car, start it over again. When I realized that I stopped doing it, I realized things get crazy for me.
Things do, and they do, and we fall out of the natural. We all have natural rhythms and cycles, and sometimes we make life so much harder than it has to be by not just being still and allowing ourselves, just being good to ourselves. And we think that like the myth that it just takes too much time, and I don't have any time, and but you definitely have to make it a priority, because if you don't make it a priority, everything else chaotic and stressful will be a priority. They'll make themselves a priority.
They'll take their 10 minutes.
They'll take their 10 minutes. And then some. Take it all from you. And then you're completely drained by the end of the day. So the sixth myth around meditation is that it requires spiritual or religious beliefs. Now, everything that we just talked about in this first 20 minutes of the show, have I mentioned one thing about religion?
No.
Nothing. So it is not a Buddhist practice. It's not a Hindu practice. It's not a Christian practice. It is just a practice of stillness. So a lot of times we let our religious belief systems get in the way of doing what our body needs it to do. Nobody, I don't care what religious affiliation you are from, nobody should walk around stressed 24 hours a day. Nobody should walk around making decisions haphazardly because they have not taken the time to listen to themselves. Even if you don't believe in anything, believe in your higher self, believe in your intuition, and all of those things come from stillness.
I think you made a good point earlier that whether you whether you are religious or aren't religious, it's the ability to listen to your God or to who
To
your higher power
whoever your
is,
higher,
whoever it
absolutely.
is, whoever you call that higher power, your higher self, your own think, your own words, your own thoughts, or whoever. How do you hear them when you go? When do you take the moment to hear what's being said to you? And we
Absolutely.
need that moment to listen.
Because we become so inundated with outside forces, with what our bosses tell us, with what our spouses tell us, with what CNN tells us, with what social media tells us, with what our children tells us, what the radio tells us. All day long, all we listen to are the voices of others, the thoughts of others, the fears of others, the concerns of others. And we just carry all of that without tapping into how do we really feel? What do we really believe? What's going on inside of our bodies? Do I feel good? Does my body hurt? Does my mind hurt? What do I need more of? Why am I in these crazy situations? So we don't tap in enough to hear from ourselves. It's always about something or someone else. And meditation allows us to do that. Last but not least, a really big myth, and I was talking to my mom. This was a few years ago when she was trying to meditate, and she kind of pulled me to the side because so many people think that you're supposed to have this big transcendental moment when you meditate. Like the angels are supposed to sing, you're supposed to elevate out of your body and be able to look around, and people have all of these expectations in terms of what. And I remember talking to my mom, and she was like, well, I didn't get any messages. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. I didn't. And I'm like, well, that does not mean you didn't have a successful meditation.
I used to feel that way. I think I was at a workshop once and wanted Journey to Wholeness. They were like, see the bright blue light. And I was like, I don't see a light. I don't see any blue. I don't see the sky. Is everybody else seeing this? Okay, I'm not seeing this. This is not good. I don't know how to meditate. This is hard. So I know that feeling because I sat there and everybody else was like, I see blue. I'm like, y'all do.
So that is a myth that you are supposed to have this moment of enlightenment, this transcendental, powerful thing is supposed to happen when you meditate. Doesn't work like that. And for most people, if it did, you'd be scared as hell. You'd be like, what the? So what happens in your meditation is what you need in that moment. Okay, so it's not about, sometimes you'll get a message. If you're grappling with something and you're struggling with making a decision, sometimes you will hear a message. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll just feel peace. Sometimes the only thing you need in that moment is love, and you'll feel that love. Okay, so whatever you need in that moment is what you'll receive from your meditation, and it will come to you in a way that you can receive it. So, like I said, if you're a person and you meditate and you start hearing angels singing, you might be like, "What the?" So it'll come to you the way it needs to come to you. So honor whatever experience you have, even if it's just an experience of just silence, like, wow, that was cool. I was silent for 5 minutes.
For me, when my mind isn't racing, I feel like I was successful, that I didn't think
And
about
that
anything in
is,
that moment, that I may actually start to feel or see a color. I think today I was thinking purple. I don't know why, but I walked away thinking, the color purple just kept popping in my head, and I had to look it
and
up
that's
and
your
see what that was.
higher consciousness, higher opening up to your intuition and your higher self.
It was like taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
And sometimes all I get from it is like it's this big giant moment of a big exhale,
A release.
a release, and I can start my day.
Absolutely. So, listeners, don't feel like you're supposed to have this big major. So, when we let go of these expectations, it really does allow us to meditate more, because you'll feel that way. Oh, this didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen, so I'm not meditating. That's not true.
There is no wrong way to meditate. Is that what you're saying?
There is no wrong way to meditate. Just do it. Just do it. All right, so let's talk about some of the basic forms of meditation, because I also want to educate you guys about meditation, especially those who haven't experienced a lot, because you'll hear like so many different types of meditations, like a guided meditation. So that's the first type, guided meditation. And this one, I definitely strongly recommend if you are new to meditation and you just want to get a feel for what you yourself, how you experience meditation. Guided meditations are pretty good. A guided meditation is only someone kind of coaching you or walking you through the meditation. They're telling you to close your eyes, to breathe deeply. They'll either have you visualize a color, or visualize a picture, or visualize yourself at a park. So they'll kind of guide you through tools and techniques for you to quiet the mind. But once again, whatever you experience is completely different. At the Journey to Wholeness Center, we do free guided meditations twice a month, every other Sunday. And those are some of the most powerful meditations.
They're at noon?
They're at noon, from 12 to 12:45, and we're having one this Sunday. So
okay.
This is the Sunday that we're on. And the reason why the guided meditations are so powerful is, what I've noticed is that everybody comes out with a different experience. One meditation, my mom came out bawling, but another person next to her came out smiling. So once again, it just depends upon what you need in that moment. It's the same, the practitioner just guides you to go deeper.
For me, that helped because I didn't like not feeling like I didn't know where to start with it. I went a long time ago to one, and I felt like I was the goofy one there that wasn't feeling anything, thinking the right things. And uh, her starting me off just helped. It helped because then I knew how to kind of do it at home. I knew where to start, because you kind of don't know what to do. Like, what do you start thinking?
What do you start? Or how do I breathe? How am I supposed to breathe? How am I supposed to quiet the mind?
It helped me.
It's like you tell me to quiet the mind,
but how do you do it? How do you start it?
So that's why guided meditations are great. You can get CDs on guided meditations that'll guide you through a meditation. I used to drive a lot in my last job. I would have to drive to the Quad Cities a lot, and I would put in a guided meditation, just to listen to the cues for meditating. So there are CDs that are available to do guided meditations. You can go online, like Deepak Chopra and Oprah. They get together and they
have an app
online. They have an app for guided meditations. So that is a great place to start. If you just don't trust yourself, you just want a little bit of more direction and guidance, guided meditations is a great way to go. But keep in mind, you will still have your own experience. You will still have your own experience. Now, the guided meditations too can go anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to an hour. So only do what you're comfortable with doing. It doesn't take a whole hour to meditate to get the benefits of meditation. The next one is a visual meditation through visualization. So, visualization is a pretty powerful meditation because it's a really great way to practice manifestation. So when we begin to do visualization meditations, let's say I'll just keep it simple. Let's say it's a car you want, or you want to move into a new house, or you're looking for a new career or a new job. Visualization meditations allow you to be still and create what that experience would be like. So you will be seeing yourself driving that car, or see yourself living in that home, or see yourself working at that particular job. So that's a way to begin to manifest, because what we think we are. So as we begin to create it in our minds, we manifest it in the physical. So visualization meditations are very powerful. Let's say you want to go back to school. Start visualizing yourself in that classroom. Start visualizing yourself getting that degree. So that's another powerful way to meditate, is through visualization. The third one is through a mantra meditation. And what a mantra is, and to define mantra, it just means mind instrument. It is a way that, as you said, a lot of times we get caught up in our thoughts during meditation. What a mantra does, it allows us to narrowly focus on a word or a phrase, because we repeat it over and over and over and over and over until, once again, that space, we start identifying that space in between the thoughts, because we're no longer focused on our thoughts. We're just repeating that mantra. So a really good, easy example of a mantra would be Om. A lot of people go Om. and that is the like the highest calling of inspiration, of God, of life force. It's just in yoga, a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, all the time, I start my class with a centering exercise, which is really a quick 5-minute meditation. A good thing, you can just go, I am, or I am peace, I am love, I am. And you just keep going and going. And as you can see, it can just kind of guide you to that space in between the space. So those are mantras. A lot of people like to do mantras, and I didn't wear my mala beads. Mala beads are really good to kind of, you can hold on to the bead. It makes it more physical. Hold on to the bead, say the mantra, and just go in line. So that's a good way for some people to really focus the mind, is through mantras. And last but certainly not least, and this works all the time with meditation, it's just a breath awareness meditation. And most meditations, that is the key, that is the glue that keeps you in that state. It's just paying attention to your breath. Paying attention to your breathing. A lot of times, especially if we live hectic lives, it's so hard for us to just sit still. So when we finally sit still, draw your awareness to your breath. Just breathing. And that really quiets everything, because the breath is quiet. The breath is soft. And we don't draw awareness to our breath. Like breathing, it just comes natural. You just breathe. But the minute that you can begin to draw your awareness to your breath and really pay attention to your inhalations and your exhalations, you find yourself kind of going there. It really does put you in that meditative state. We do it a lot with yoga, really focusing on the breath, inhalation, exhalation. You begin to tune out everything going on around you without even realizing that you're doing it. So those are pretty much, I would say, just the basic, very basic forms of meditation. Okay. So let's talk about starting a meditation practice. So and I'm going to keep it very simple, just 4 easy steps that you can begin to find to jumpstart your meditation practice. So number 1, and you alluded to this one, I don't care where it is, find a comfortable, quiet quiet people, a comfortable, quiet place. It is so very difficult to meditate with people talking around. You believe me, I've tried. I have tried to get up, call myself getting up early on Saturday morning, going to my meditation spot, and the boys are in the next room playing 2K, and it just don't work. So find a quiet spot, your car.
Now, what if it's not quiet, like around me? Like,
But you know what? If it's not, and a lot of times it won't be. And it's even good to tune into those sounds if you hear birds or ruffling or cars or, but just in your immediate space should be quiet, or not with familiar sounds of my kids like pulling their hair out,
Right.
screaming at each other. Because then I'm like, okay, what they doing? What, do I need to go in, So be in a space where it's just, if there is sounds, it's not familiar sounds that will cause you to draw into what's going on around you. So as I said, find a chair and you always want to, especially when you're starting off meditation, I would say sit. You can definitely do meditations laying down, but I would not recommend you do it laying down before you go to bed because you'll be asleep. And the point in meditation, it's not that it's bad. You needed it. you need. And some people do go to sleep in meditation. A lot of times when we do the guided meditations, yeah, if I'm tired, I pass out. But it's because my body needed it, and that's okay. So I don't even judge it. I don't judge it. Just to even, sometimes people's lives are so hectic that they're not sleeping properly at night. So even giving themselves the opportunity to do that. My best friend Tila fell asleep in the middle of a yoga pose. I know she's probably gonna kill me for saying this. I hope she doesn't hear it, but in the middle of a yoga pose. And our yoga instructor was like, she needed it. And that's true. So you just allow that, because sometimes you're not still enough and your life is so busy and hectic that meditation will at least give you the stillness and the sleep
that has happened
that you may need
in a guided meditation to me as well.
I've fallen
asleep, but I have trouble stealing my mind. So the moment I was in the position of actually getting to that point, it soothes me to the point of falling asleep.
And that is okay, and that will happen over and over again, even if you are proficient at meditating. I've been meditating for years now, and I will still fall asleep during a guided meditation if I'm tired enough. So just honor that. That's a good thing. So honor it.
Wait, number 2 was what? Number 1 was find a comfortable, quiet place. What was number 2?
No, I haven't gotten to 2 yet, but I'm just saying comfortable, quiet place. If you're new to meditation, probably laying down doing it before you go to bed is not the best. You would probably want to start off in a seated position, someplace quiet. Okay. Number 2, close your eyes. And not if you're driving. Please don't.
You can't meditate and drive, can you?
Please don't. Oh, yeah. I used to
While
listen
you're driving, you can meditate?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was considered meditating. I thought I was just daydreaming.
Yeah, definitely. I do it all the time on my way. I do it all the time on the way to the radio show just to still my mind so I don't have a whole lot of stuff going on. I turn off the radio and I just listen to the sounds of the road. And of course, my eyes are open, but it puts my mind in complete peace.
I didn't realize that was a form of meditation.
Absolutely. Stillness, But if you're doing it home and you really want to go deep within the meditation, and you can close your eyes. So close your eyes. I would always say take 3 really full, deep breaths before you start any meditation practice. The reason why is, once again, the breath stills and quiets the mind. So when you're able to and when I say deep, I mean from the belly. Just take a deep inhale from the belly and just exhale it all out through the mouth. Just let it all go. You're releasing just that junk, everything that's accumulated during, just let it go. So 3 full breaths, and then go back to your normal breathing. and draw your awareness to your breath. And just like pay attention to the inhalations and the exhalations. So that's the second thing, is those 3 full breaths to really get you centered. The third thing is draw your awareness to your breath. So I know we talked about all these different types of meditation, but the very one that really will allow you to really focus and go within is through your breath. So draw your awareness to your breath. So after you take those 3 full breaths, like I said, start breathing regularly, but then pay attention to your inhalations and exhalations. And allow your thoughts, as I said before, just allow them to pass. See them as waves, see them as clouds, and don't fight it. Don't fight it. The fourth thing, the last thing, do this for 5 minutes every day. Now, if you cannot give yourself 5 minutes a day, shame on you. So 5 minutes a day, every day for 7 days straight. Once you have successfully completed those 7 days, up it to 10 minutes. And then each week, just challenge yourself to see if you can get 5 more minutes in. But if you can get between 5 to 10 minutes every day, you are doing it. You are doing it. And you will become more proficient and more better at it. But just, give yourself 5 minutes. And people think that, oh, yeah, I could do 5 minutes. That's easy. But no. 5 minutes in complete quiet and stillness.
It's hard. It sounds short, but it's a long time.
It's a long time.
Or it feels like a long time, but it's not. It gets, in the beginning, it feels like that to get your mind to be quiet and not think, or take away the thought of wasting time. I don't know why I feel like I'm taking too much time, and that is 5 minutes, but I still feel like I can't be still that moment of time.
And we'll tell ourselves, oh, I'm just going to scroll on Facebook for 10 minutes, and we look up and it's 45 minutes. So just give it to yourself to try it. So how, which leads us into how to incorporate these little, and that's it. If you do those 4 things, you are meditating. So that's the 4 easy step process to meditation. How do you incorporate it into your life? Do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Just do it. Don't make excuses why you can't do it. Don't fall into one of the myths. Just do it. Just make the decision that you're going to do it. Make it a priority. Fit it in someplace in your day. The easiest thing to do to keep doing this is to find the space in your day daily. It becomes hard if you say, well, I'm going to meditate in the morning. And then the next day, oh, I'm going to meditate before I go to bed. And then the next day, oh, I forgot to meditate. I'm going to do it this afternoon. Create a ritual. Create a ritual. Create a space. If you have to get up at 6 a.m. versus 6:10, get up at 6 a.m. and know that at 6 a.m. every morning, you're going to give yourself these 10 minutes to meditate. So create that ritual for yourself, because it is through rituals and practice that it becomes a part of our normal lives. So just do it.
And when we fall off, do it again.
And when you fall off, do it again. When you fall off, say, dang it, I fell off. Let me go back to doing it. Because we all fall off. We all fall off. I keep a gratitude journal, and some nights I pass out. So I'd be like, oh, shoot, I missed that. But I don't stop doing it. And that's another thing that we do. Once we fall off, we say, well, it really wasn't working. Oh, well, I just didn't have time. And we fall and we let it go. Don't let it go. It is so very important that you incorporate this into your daily life. It will change your life. It is a powerful, when I say empower yourself, it is one of the most empowering tools you can have in your toolbox that you can always go back to. When your spouse, when that person that pissed you off, go someplace quiet and just be still on it. When your kids are going through problems and issues, in fact, my son has been sleepwalking. That's for another show. My son has been sleepwalking. And the first thing my mama say, girl, go meditate on that. It's a part of how I get answers and how I get closure and how I find peace with chaos that is going on around me. And I'll be, oh yeah, I need to meditate on that. I need to be still and really feel what's going on with that. So it is so very worth it that you create your ritual, remove your false expectations, practice, practice, practice. And I'm going to tell you a cheating way to do it is to engage in activities that cultivate stillness.
Such as?
Yoga. Yoga cultivates stillness. When you begin to engage in a yoga practice, it's just you, your breath, and your mind all in one. Your mind, body, spirit, all in one. And you can become so ingrained in it that you don't even pay attention to what's going on. All you do, you hear the cues from the yoga teacher, and you're so inward, focused so inward. And that's what's called a movement meditation. Dance, for some people, is an incredible movement meditation where you're so into the music, you hear the music, but you're into the movement, and it becomes a spiritual going within experience. That's a form of meditation. It's a movement meditation. Some people do, if you go to a forest preserve or to a park or a place where you have lots of greenery and you just walk and you're silent, you're not thinking about anything. You're not thinking about what I want to eat, and you're not thinking about the kids. It's just you and nature, and you're walking. That's a meditation. There are also labyrinths that people can go to and just do kind of a walking meditation, but we don't have to make it that complex. So getting out into nature, doing something that you love to do that distracts you, going to a symphonetta, is a form of meditation. It's a form of stillness, because you are truly quiet in the mind and you're very, very present in that moment. And it just allows you to see things so much more clearer. So those are other just activities, and these are activities that really foster meditation, qigong, and gong baths and therapy, using sound as a meditative practice. And we offer all of those, shameless plug, but we offer all of those at the Journey to Wholeness Center. So, any questions?
I think you've really answered a lot for me. And to be kinder to myself, because I didn't always think of some of the things that I do normally as being forms of meditation. So I think when I'm out dancing, to really think about being in that moment.
Yes.
Making sure I'm getting the most of the moment that I am in, that I could call it a meditation. Or when I walk to Dunkin' Donuts, that moment could actually be a meditation moment.
And doesn't it feel like it when you do take those moments and you find yourself really going within and you're not focused on anybody or anything else? It does something for your soul. It does something for your spirit.
Agreed.
All right. So as always, we have lots of classes and workshops that really foster everything that we talked about. So at the Journey to Wholeness Center, we definitely practice what it is that we preach. So this weekend, we are on tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we're having one of the best workshops at 11 a.m. It is Detoxify or Die, Secret to Anti-Aging. We have the Dr. Raymond Cortez, who is going to be in the house facilitating this workshop, really teaching us about what is good in terms of food and vitamins, what are the good things that we need to bring into our body, and the bad things that we need to release based upon our own energetic systems, because every single person is different. So this is a must-come-to workshop tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then at 2 p.m., we're going to talk about the laws of attraction. And that is with Sophia Amosanaya. Then on Sunday, January 15th, we have our regular beginners yoga workshop series at 9 a.m. And then, as we mentioned earlier in the show, we have a free guided meditation. So if you are curious about meditation, how to incorporate it in your life, and you want to experience a beautiful guided meditation, come join us Sunday, January 5th. The 22nd at 12 p.m. So with that said, as always, if you want more information, go onto our Facebook page, Journey to Wholeness Center, or you can log on to our website at journeytowholeness.org. As always, thank you for tuning in to Journey to Wholeness Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. I thank my beautiful guest and best friend, Wanda B.
Thank you for having me.
And we will talk to you next week. Thank you.